What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is day 82 of the ALPAT, and if you are counting along with us, that means it's December 22nd, which is 3 days before Christmas, and it is also a Sunday. We had holiday routine today, and we flew the SUAS. It's the first time in a little while we've been able to fly them, but we had everything going right, and we were able to get those guys up in the air for a solid amount of time and get them recovered. We had the nav brief in the middle of the day for pulling into Dutch Harbor tomorrow. We're going to be in Dutch Harbor through Christmas. We'll get underway from there after Christmas. And that was all as far as what we had going on today. But as I'm recording this, I was talking to somebody online, and I indicated that we were off of Alaska. This is somebody that I knew from, I guess knew might be the wrong word. It was somebody I met at an A's game and communicate with them every so often. And she was asking, or had mentioned, that she was not aware that the Coast Guard went all the way up to Alaska. So that this feels like a good time to indicate, where does the Coast Guard go? And I'm not going to spill anything that is secret. If you want to look all this up, you can look up Coast Guard, United States Coast Guard, and then whatever piece of geography that I name out here, and you can see that we've been there. So the Coast Guard, we go to South America. I've been to South America twice with the Coast Guard. Obviously, if we go to South America, that means we also go to Central America. We come all the way up here to Alaska. On both deployments that I've been on to Alaska, we have been north of the Arctic Circle. This time we didn't hang out up there for very long, but on the previous one we did. The Coast Guard goes to Antarctica as well. That is what our icebreakers do. They go to Antarctica and they clear the space, the shipping lane going into McMurdo Station. That is one of our main missions that we do. The Coast Guard also covers all of the Pacific Ocean. While I have been here, there have been press releases of Coast Guard ships going to Samoa, Tonga. Coast Guard ships have gone to Japan, Korea, Singapore. I went to Singapore. I went to Malaysia. I went to India. We have people on board the ship who have done around the world cruises. So we are over there. There are Coast Guard units permanently stationed in the Persian Gulf. And obviously those are extremely high operational tempo units doing extremely important missions over there. There are Coast Guard jobs in Europe. There are Coast Guard jobs in the Bahamas. Coast Guard ships recently, not too recently, given the difficulties going on with Ukraine and Russia, but somewhat recently, Coast Guard ships have been into the Black Sea. Coast Guard ships have made port calls in Egypt, Lebanon, all throughout the Mediterranean Sea. Coast Guard ships have done law enforcement missions off the coast of Africa. And so if there's a spot in the world, it is likely that the U.S. Coast Guard goes there. And there's all kinds of reasons for that. A lot of it is rooted in the fact that we're a little less intrusive than the Navy, and that's not a knock on the Navy, but when a Navy warship goes somewhere, there's a different vibe than when a Coast Guard ship goes somewhere. So we do that. But there are very few places that the Coast Guard doesn't go. While I've been out here, there have been multiple large Coast Guard ships do deployments over to the Far East, the South China Sea, Japan, in that area. There have been multiple ships do deployments to the Eastern Pacific around the equator, the Galapagos Islands. There are constantly ships working down off the coast of Florida and around Haiti and around Cuba, and a wide variety of missions that we are out here doing. And If you have any additional questions that you want to know that I didn't answer there, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer as best I can. Most of the locations that the Coast Guard are going is not extremely secret once we're not there anyway. It is obviously an operational security concern to say where Coast Guard ships are in real time, if you will. That's why these podcasts are coming out nearly 2 months in a delay. But if you want to know any questions, please ask them down below and I will get back to you. I thank you for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.